In this video, we'll walk through how to make a quick sketch of the graph for the equation y equals negative sine of 3x. So to guide us, we have the general form of the sine equation and a template. And we'll start with step 1, finding our essentials. So you see we want to know a and b. We'll start with a. It's an understood -1 out in front of the sine function. So if we take the absolute value of this, 1 is going to be our amplitude, or our distance from midline up to a max or down to a min. The negative should also clue you in that you have a pattern reflection. So it's a vertical reflection over the x-axis. And we're going to really focus in on that in step 2. Okay, so save that. For now, we'll move on to b. b is the coefficient in front of x. That's 3 for this equation. And we'll use it to find the period. So for any sine equation, period is found 2 pi over b. So our period here is 2 pi over 3. That's the length of a cycle horizontally. Now we're going to go ahead and choose a horizontal scale, and we'll do that just taking our period and dividing it by 4. Okay, so we have 2 pi over 3 divided by 4, or I like to just multiply by 1/4. That's the same thing, just a little easier to see. So 2 pi over 12 or pi over 6 will be how we count our horizontal tick marks. And the reason I like to do this is because we have 4 key points in step 2. So each of those key points will line up nicely with a tick mark when we set it up like this. So count 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6 reduces to pi over 3, 3 pi over 6 reduces to pi over 2, and then 4 pi over 6 is 2 pi over 3. So this 4th tick mark to the right of the origin should always match your period when you set it up like this. All right, now we'll label our vertical axis. Usually you can just count by ones. Look back to your A, make sure that makes sense, and we are ready for step 2. Okay, so this is plotting our key points of the sine pattern, and we did note because our value for A is negative, we say because it's less than 0, our pattern actually flips from the normal sine pattern. So it's going to flip, and what I mean by that is the max and min basically just switch places. We'll have 0, minimum, another 0, maximum. Okay, we still start at the origin with our 0. And we're still going to use the same procedure. We're using A to set the y-coordinates of the minimum and the maximum. So our minimum will happen at pi over 6, and the y-coordinate will just be the value of A, so -1. Okay, we have a 0 at pi over 3, and then we'll have our maximum at pi over 2. Just take the opposite value of A to get the y-coordinate. Okay, and then of course your pattern would repeat starting at 2 pi over 3, and all we have left to do is sketch in the sine curve. Okay, so again, this is just one cycle. You can repeat as often as you need, but you can see the full cycle of sine complete right here in the period, the horizontal space, 2 pi over 3. And you could also even see the amplitude from the midline of the graph, so right here, up to a max or down to a min. So hopefully this method helps you get a really good quick sketch of y equals negative sine 3x. Subscribe for more graphing examples and other helpful tips.